recently in a talk I heard that someone was giving on the importance of launching a movement or organization in a healthy way. He was communicating the importance of a foundation. If you think about it, a foundation is vitally important to a house, using that as an illustration, because not only is it just important to have as a strong base from which to grow on, it literally becomes impossible to live in that house in the future if you have a faulty foundation. And here's the other thing about a foundation. It largely goes unnoticed. When you think about a home, you think about the siding, the roof, the windows, the inside decor, the furnishings that go on it, the amenities. The foundation itself, which creates the possibility of this home to be lived in, is largely forgotten. In fact, the speaker even made a funny joke. He said, in fact, the whole point of the foundation is to be stepped on. Well, as a lead agency in a Love Your Neighborhood initiative, that's really what you are. That's what you become, is the foundation for a movement. And without a strong foundation, the neighborhood initiative for revitalization simply cannot go forward. The discovery assessment questions around foundation are designed to see if you're ready as a neighborhood-based organization and as a leader to become the foundation for a neighborhood movement. And so we ask 3 questions that are designed to see if you're ready to be stepped on as lead agency, if you're ready to empower and lead in humility in a Love Your Neighborhood initiative. The first question is a commitment question. In fact, we say it this way: are you willing to commit to leading in this initiative for 10 years? Now, that may seem like a long span of time, but when you think about how neighborhoods like that you may want to work in had got to the state they're in, it was usually through decades and decades and decades of disinvestment. It certainly didn't get that way overnight, and it's not going to change overnight. And so the 10-year commitment, there's no magic about 10 years, but it's just showing that you have a vested interest in committing to neighbors for an extended period of time so that you can develop the runway it needed to create real systemic and lasting change in a community. The second question is, have you identified a geographical focus? Neighborhood revitalization is holistic and the work is very expansive. And so it gets very complex very quickly. And so a way to kind of limit your work so we can have focused impact is by clearly defining a geographical focus. So do you have a neighborhood or community that you've clearly defined that you want to work with? The third question is designed for you to answer to what level, a depth of engagement that you want to offer as a neighborhood-based organization. And we want this to be so easy that even like a neighborhood association or a church that's not focused in community development full-time can still love their neighborhood, provide a framework and approach that gives residents the opportunity to revitalize their neighborhood, all the way down to like a rooted neighborhood-based organization like a YMCA or Boys and Girls Club that's already present and involved in the neighborhood itself. And so the important piece in the assessment is for you to honestly assess, okay, we're ready to invest significant time, energy, money, and resources into this, or a lesser degree of investment, but making sure that neighbors know what their relationship is to you as lead agency and what you're bringing to the table in leadership of the initiative. So once you've answered these questions, your engagement level, if you have a geographical focus, and if you're ready to make a long-term commitment, then you're ready to move forward as lead agency in a Love Your Neighborhood initiative. And that's where the fun really begins, where you start to see momentum happen, building relationships with neighbors, and seeing change and action happen. And once you've defined those, then you're ready to lay the foundation and become the foundation for a change initiative in your community.